honor of the professionalism in honor of the leader assigned Nigerian Army Aviation Platform. The Lieutenant Heads of Nigerian Army Establishment, the Deputy Military Airport Commandant, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Nigerian Army Aviation, senior officers, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the coordinator, Nigerian Army Aviation, Brigadier General MS Al-Ali, officers and soldiers of Nigerian Army Aviation, is part of the ongoing effort of the federal government of Nigeria in support of the operationalization of the Nigerian Army Aviation, also supports the operational capabilities of the Nigerian Army to effectively tackle security challenges.
To realizing our dream of a Nigerian Army Aviation has come to reality today, and we must give credit to those who dare to dream and conceptualize this journey. Aside from initial plans to train pilots for the Nigerian Army, which took place about 38 years ago, we even went a notch forward by procuring some platforms then. The G222 were procured for the Nigerian Army Aviation and the Airborne Corps that was to take off in 1986. Our renewed drive to have the Nigerian Army Aviation Wing started when the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General KTJ Minima, retired, established and operationalized the Nigerian Army Aviation Coordination Office in 2014 with a three-phased 10 years implementation plan segmented. I recall that I declared that the journey was very far and will be challenging. I'm glad that as conceptualized then, 10 years after, we have today taken delivery of our first set of platforms. I must give credit to all the Chief of Army Staff that came after General Minima, from Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai to Lieutenant General I. Atairu and my predecessor, Lieutenant General Farouk Yaya. Their tenacity and drive, along with the collective effort of our military personnel and government officials, have been instrumental in our journey to realizing this dream. The journey, as predicted by the initial dreamers, has not been easy, but here we are today, by the grace of God, realizing our dreams. I must sincerely appreciate the various administrations of government in this country that have been since 2014, from His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan to His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, for their support in training our pilots and ground crew and putting in place necessary structure over the years. I must especially thank Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of our Armed Forces, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for fulfilling his promise to fund the acquisition of our platforms and providing the necessary funding to realizing our dream. We are new to this business, and as newcomers, we must acknowledge our forerunners, like the Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Police Force. I particularly thank our sister services for the encouragement and support that we have received from them. And I want to especially thank the Nigerian Police Force Aviation Wing for the support that we have continued to receive even from them, particularly at this moment. We are on a learning curve in our aviation business, and we hope it will be a pleasant experience that will give our troops flexibility in the field and enhance our operational successes. I thank the leadership and membership of the National Assembly, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, fellow service chiefs, and all Nigerians for their support and encouragement. The Nigerian Army is poised to serve the nation better with the acquisition of these new platforms, and we shall overcome and give our people the enabling environment for economic prosperity. I thank you all, and God bless.
The operational capabilities of the Nigerian Army Aviation in line with the COA's command philosophy, which is to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment. Firstly, I would like to extend a welcome to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, Nigerian Army Medal. As the chief sponsor of this project, the principal staff officers present, head of establishment, and other special invited guests, your presence is a testimony to the collective commitment we share towards advancement and security of our great nation. Today, we witness the fusion of the Chief of Army Staff's strategic vision and dedication to fortifying our aerial capabilities. The introduction of this advanced air platform marks a new chapter in our operational readiness and our ability to respond swiftly and effectively to diverse security challenges. These platforms are not just an addition to our fleet. If forward into our quest for excellence and efficiency towards getting the Nigerian Army Aviation operational. Our journey, we started 40 years ago, to this point has been defined by rigorous planning, meticulous execution, and the unwavering support of Nigerian Army leadership and partners. I would like to acknowledge the tireless effort of all those involved in this project, from our well-respected consultant, Major General Emeka, and strategic planners, as well as international partners. Your hard work and dedication has been instrumental in making this vision a reality. The acquisition of these air platforms is a clear demonstration of our resolve to continuously improve and adapt in the face of evolving security landscape. These platforms will significantly bolster the Nigerian Army reconnaissance, surveillance, and air mobility capabilities, thereby enhancing our overall operational effectiveness. As we integrate these platforms into our operations, let us remember that the true strength of our aviation lies in the skill and courageous personnel who operate and maintain these machines. Their professionalism, dedication, and expertise are the bedrock upon which our success is built. I'm confident that with this continuous training and development of our personnel, we will maximize the potential of this new asset and set new standard of excellence in military aviation. In closing, I would like to reiterate our commitment to ensuring the safety, security, and prosperity of our nation. The Nigerian Army Aviation remains steadfast in its mission to protect and serve with honor and distinction Let us embrace this new era with renewed vigor, determination, knowing that together we will soar to greater heights. Thank you. May God bless the Nigerian Army. May God bless our dry country, Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
That was at the United States Army Aviation Center at Fort Rucker, Alabama, the biggest helicopter training institution in the world. On return to Nigeria, the Army then set up the Aviation Corps. I was attached to the Nigeria Police and also to the Nigerian Navy. That was for a number of years, after which the Nigerian Army was very gracious again to sending me to the United States of America to go to university to study aviation management and flight operations. The Army invested so much in me in this aspect of military operations, but unfortunately, I didn't use those skills when I was in service. It was a great pleasure a few months ago when I heard that the Nigerian Army was about to operationalize the Aviation Corps. And I met the Chief of Army Staff, and he trusted me to be involved. Chief of Army Staff, I thank you for the confidence. I will also thank all your principal staff officers, especially the Chief of Policy and Plans, the Chief of Army Training, Chief of Army Accounts and Budget, Director of Procurement, and all those who have, in one way or another, contributed to making today a reality. Permit me, Chief of Army Staff, to mention a particular officer of yours, Major Farouk Mijinyawa. I'm sorry, I take that back. General Farouk. Actually, I knew him when he was a major, and he was MA to Chief of Training and Operations when I was a colonel and Director of Public Relations. General Farouk Mijinyawa, I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart for the role he played in actualizing this. Sometimes by midnight, I would call him, send him messages, and it has become a reality. As the coordinator said, these platforms will form the foundation for the growth of the Nigerian Army. For the media, these are not attack helicopters, so please don't report them as attack helicopters. They'll just be used principally for training, for logistics, for casualty evacuation, and for missions like that. They are not attack helicopters. They'll just form the basis for future acquisitions of the Nigerian Army. Chief of Army Staff, I want to assure you that your name has been written in gold for operationalizing this that has taken 40 years. This is one of my happiest days to see this come to reality after wearing the wings as a serving officer of flying for the Nigerian Army. When I went to South Africa with your pilots, Chief of Army Staff, I retrained myself so I can fly these machines with them. And as I remain the consultant, I will keep flying with these fine officers. And also permit me to mention that this was a historic flight. The pilots with their instructors took off from Rand Air Force Base in Johannesburg on Sunday the 16th and flew through 7 countries to get to this place this evening. When we had a visa challenge in Angola, the pilots elected to sleep on the aircraft just to make sure that they took part in the ferry. You have very fine Army pilots and chance. And again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. This is just the beginning of the good things that will come to Nigerian Army, to the Nigerian nation, and to all of us. Thank you, Chief of Army Staff.
And that informs the decision for the Nigerian Army's strive to acquire platforms towards the actualization of the dream of having an Army aviation arm since 1984. Today, that dream has been actualized, and we expect that the support that will be provided to the troops in the field with the acquisition of this utility helicopter in terms of casualty evacuation, resupply, and insertion of troops in critical areas, they will have greater flexibility and improve operational efficiency in the field. So also mission tomorrow to pick one thing or the other to send logistics to any frontline location, they will be tasked accordingly. So they are deployed already.
Thank you, Chief of Army Staff, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Before you today, on this momentous occasion, we are gathered here to celebrate the arrival of the Nigerian Army Vanguard Air Platform. Significant